Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy, is an NBA meme that started in November 2022 as a joke threat to sports players who have been performing poorly or failed in other ways. The macro implies that due to their performance, a player doesn't belong in a top tier competition and instead should be playing in a lower tier league such as China's CBA. Now this meme also spread its way over towards Valorant as well. As you can see here, what is up with the China meme? One day this get ready to learn Chinese appeared and I don't know why was posted on the Valorant competitive subreddit. And so why did this meme come about? Well, in Valorant, the game in China was released a little bit later than it was everywhere else, and before it actually officially got released in China, there was kind of just an underground, unofficial Chinese pro circuit going on, kind of under the radar, but we all kind of knew that it existed. But still, the pro scene in China was seen as a bit of a wild west. China didn't get its VCT league until a year later than the other three regions. And in that league and the performances across the board, it was just a little bit shaky overall, and generally the Chinese teams, apart from EDG who did okay a couple times, finishing 5th, 6th once, generally the performances were okay, but they never really made it too far. And last year, world champion Boostio from EG said this.
China will never be better than NA, for one, in Valorant.
Ooh.
Well, guess what happened yesterday?
세상이 아닙니다. 2024년 발로란트 챔피언 에드워드 게임!
Yeah, EDG from China won champs. But just before we get into how EDG won the tournament and flipped the meme on its head, we do have an announcement because we are doing a TMV tournament. And so here's all you need to know. First thing you need to do is join the TMV Discord here. You can come and join the TMV Discord in the link in the description. And then from there, you need to find the announcements channel. Come to the server info, announcements, and then in announcements, you can go to the pinned messages in announcements and look at this. Magnum has posted this. Let's go there. The Throw City Clash. So here in the Discord server, we are doing a little Valorant tournament here where anyone can enter, any ranks can enter whatsoever, and you and your band of randomly, they're carefully chosen teammates picked by the mods will fight out to win both glory and, better yet, money. The group stage is on September 28th and 29th, and the playoffs will be on October 5th and 6th. There is a €2 entry fee, but this does not apply to Twitch subs or YouTube members of me, so if you want to become a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, this is a good time because you won't have to pay the entry fee. And the prize will be €120 for first, 80 for second, and 40 for third place. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be an EU EMEA only tournament, and you need to have a maximum ping of 100 MS to Frankfurt, otherwise you won't be able to take part in it. If you are from APAC or NA, don't worry, because next year we are hoping to run one of these tournaments for each of those regions as well and get 3 tournaments on the go. It's going to be 160 spaces for 32 teams of 5 players. Already about half of them are gone, and it's going to be first come, first serve. So if you want to play in this tournament and potentially win some money, then come and join the TMV Discord and come and sign up today. So now let's talk about EDG and how did they win the grand final? How did they become world champions? And actually, it started horrendously for EDG. The first map was some of the worst Valorant you will see. I mean, you're just going to see. I'm going to show you 4 rounds in a row here of their attack side, and it is dreadful. The mistakes they were making were awful, as you'll see, and it kind of starts with Smoggy here. But let's start with this round, which is kind of one of the key themes where they're actually going to lose to time in a horrendous way here. Right, so it's 4-2. The game's not, out of hand yet. We're in a fine spot. And EDG, I'm just going to play this faster for you because it's going to be pretty slow. They're going to come and default a bit. They're going to destroy this trip here with the shock dart, but they go back, and you can just see that they're a bit unsure, right? Like, okay, we've defaulted a bit towards Garage. Now we're going to come back towards A, but Kankang's going to push up towards B on his own, and Kankang gets a bit fortunate here that he doesn't die, essentially, to a Sovereign that's going to come out. He's going to be under a lot of pressure, as you'll see. He's going to get stunned here, get flashed, get stunned, Sover ulted. He does well to actually survive here, and now the rest of the team is going to just kind of panic towards C and just be running it down towards C. The thing is, they only have 1 smoke, so even though Kankang gets that kill, they don't have a smoke here for Garage, and so when they come out, Benji's there to just absolutely mop them up, as you can see. But we get into this position now. It's a 3v2. The smoke comes down. 22 seconds left, right? Not looking great. If we take a look at the map, Kankang's still over towards B, so Smoggy's kind of completely on his own. So what are we going to do? Well, Smoggy's about to make a horrendous mistake.
You're not coming out unscathed.
2v3, EDG are going to have to pull out something incredible here, and they've only got 15 seconds.
Time is just against them.
The ult.
Yeah, ult pivot over and away, but again, the timing is going to be brutal. Kang still collects the one. It's a 2v2, but still 4 seconds to go.
He missed it!
He's missed the timing!
What's he doing?
Brutal! And nerves! Frantic on stage! On display!
So consider that they just lost that round in that fashion, and then take a look at the very next round as well, because this is incredible. To lose that round, and again, I'm going to play at 2x speed because you're never going to guess how they lose this round, right? We start, again, with a bit of a default here towards mid and out towards B and garage, right? But it's slow, as you'll see, and then they decide, okay, we don't like that. We're going to come back to A instead. Let's drone on A and, you know, kind of come and take A. And at this point, it's all fine, right? They come down A. Okay, we get to this point, we push them back. Okay, we're down to 4 seconds left. Like, it's fine, you know, we're coming down here, you know, out towards A. This is all fine. It looks like they're gearing up to do an A exec with Chichu as a lurk. This is all fine, right? We get to this point in the round, the wall goes up, they try and do an exec. Oh, they don't like the util that comes back out at them, so then they just run away, and now there's only 37 seconds left, but now they're just going to run away back to C. But the thing is, of course, at no point in this round have they touched C, so they've got no idea what's going on here. They're just guessing that heretics, you know, aren't there. But then because of this deep trip that's going to reveal them just here, now they're just trying to do a C exec with no time. And so guess what's going to happen?
Already spotted, but you know, he's dropped in a moment's notice. 20 seconds. Here's the old Woot. He's getting ahead of all of this. Wants to take the peak and wants to take the fight. Hunter's Fury trying to bail them out. Slowed down to a crawl. Aftershock in their face. It's full util spam. Cacophony of all of it. Into the back of the site we go. Twists and turns. The tail's being weaved, but it's all on Heretics' side.
Again, EDG! The clock being the biggest enemy, Boo just stays alive.
And then in the very next round, they then do this, another big mistake by Smoggy in this one, as they come for this A exec again here, EDG. And again, they're going to put up this wall and kind of, you know, fake and pretend like they're going to do an A exec here, hoping to bait out some of that util. It's quite a nice idea, right? But just a drone comes out this time, right? Heretics aren't fooled. They don't see anything else other than the wall, and they aren't fooled and they don't do anything, right? Then they trap Can. Great play there from Heretics. And now again, without your Neon, are you gonna do this A exec? They decide, no, we're not. We're instead just gonna come back to B here after we just are a bit indecisive again here. EDG don't know what we're doing. We're gonna just run back and pivot towards B. But I mean, again, you're about to see a horrific mistake here from Smoggy in just a second, because as we come up to B, you know, and it looks free, like we can probably get the plant down here, but now this smoke comes up. And now he's going to do this.
Trip once more. They've walked up right close, and they will be breaking this one. TP, no, there's no cover. And Woot's right there.
For the punish, Chichu, vacuuming up space, hoping the rotations are abound. Might be able to catch this timing, yes! Headfist! Boo just trying to catch that sightline. K just dropped down, trying to get his team in 14 seconds. Again time, running away from them.
Glass potentially dry, nobody's going to stick this plan. And Mini Boo cleans up the flank. Forward aggression showcased by Chichu. He knows he has to take risks. He knows the matters need to be taken into his own hands. Nora theft. Reveals all. The dart is dealt with. But Heretics have players. They've got bodies. They've got util. And they've got guns. The aim on display.
Now, yeah, that TP wasn't very good, was it? And EDG, as you saw, end up losing the round. But it is even worse when I tell you that Smoggy has 2 smokes to use as well. And he doesn't use either of them and just TPs onto B and just dies instantly. And then finally here on Haven, round number 10. Remember, this is 4 back-to-back rounds that I'm showing you here, right? This is crazy that this happened all back-to-back. And again, we're going to see here from EDG, it's an early default out towards A. And, you know, they think they're going to create some pressure, but they just were in their own head, right? After creating this A pressure, we then got our Sova, you know, coming back here to do some shock darts on B. There's just so many different ideas going on here. Chichu, again, just, it's like refusing to move anywhere, essentially. He's just always sitting back here, not doing much. But again, they aren't properly defaulting, really. They're just kind of chilling here, hoping that Team Heretics are going to do something. And again, I'll just play it on 2x speed, and you see that literally nothing is happening, right? This drone comes out. They don't want to get seen by the drone on A, so they hide from it, which is fine. But now, again, the clock is ticking down, and we're going to start this exec here, but I just want you to focus on this exec is just not going to be very good.
Right, and guess what? Rian's way ahead of him. Nobody picked off, and that's going to spell defeat. He knows that the hit's coming in. Sidestep, fault line not connecting there, and heads are being popped, rattled off the shoulders. Chichu is going to try and make a play. Makes his way over towards C, but again, 17 seconds
There's
left.
barely
Josh.
time for the spike to
This
get there.
keeps occurring. A mad dash and scramble towards the end of the game. At the end of the round, Chichu at least will push back Minibu.
Caught by the trip.
6 seconds, caught by the trip. 4 seconds. You got to stick it, and the aftershock denies it. Will pay for it for his life, but at the end of the day.
So just not very good, right? I mean, it starts off with this exec being done in stages, right? So our breach utility is coming out, right? But nothing else is. Okay, so our breach utility, we've now stunned an aftershock from our breach and Omen flashed, but Kang hasn't stunned yet, and so now he stuns, but he's still not out. He still hasn't come out at all, right? So we're still just sitting in the smoke. We still aren't out. He still has his wall to use as well, but he's just not going to use it because now he's just going to run in just on his own with no util, right? Just really, really bad. And then obviously, as you saw at the end of the round there, they pivot towards C and they don't have time again. This was horrendous from EDG in map 1. And that's what makes what happened in map 2 so surprising, because their attack on Haven was woeful. But then they came to map 2 and they won 11 rounds on their attack side in the first half of Sunset. And it was like a different team turned up, right? Like, let's take a look at this round number 5. Now, in this one, Team Heretics have been struggling with B main control early. They're 4-0 down in this round. I'll just show you here. So it's already 4-0 to EDG. And so Team Heretics, coming off a timeout, decide we're going to take B main control. We're going to own this space. And you just saw EDG be very, very, incoherent and not knowing what they're doing and panicking, and everyone's on different pages. But just take a look at this, that as soon as they see this pressure coming out, the nade, the Omen flash, the dart here, instantly they're gonna come and do an A split. Like instant, straight away they decide, okay, I don't need to play this on 2x speed this time, because look, straight away there's a lot of pace of we are going and doing this, and we're gonna come and do this B split. And not only are they gonna come and do a B split, but it's an A split. It's a really, really nice decisive one where they take complete control and play perfectly as a team.
The way up through mid as well. This time it might not be anticipated. Benji! He's gone, he's taken out. The swipe of a hand and a glide from Kang, man. Woot needs to try and make the play. Attempt to dominate the angle.
And so EDG were decisive. They knew what they were doing, and this continued throughout the entire half, and they had some really, really nice executes as well, like here in round 11.
Reserves are going to need to be tapped into. Heretics doubled up, trying to hold it, stun. Good connection, reveal onto all of them, and now the side swipe! They all topple, they all fall. An attempt by Benji Fishy.
And so we see that all of the util is combined nicely. All of it pretty much hits. Kang does the perfect thing really as a duelist here, which is he survives, right? So in we come, we flash. We're going to slide out across. The dart now lands. I mean, we're running into, like this is good for Team Heretics, right? Like Kang's on its own, but he does really well to just, stun them, survive, makes them run away. They're getting revealed by the dart. Simon's done a really good thing here where he's coming down this way. We actually Omen flash this, which is probably allowing him to take this so aggressively right here and, be across. He's also, just coming out here, KO ulting them as well, speeding them up, And what do you do here? What do you actually do here? Nobody's also silver ulting them. These guys, this was already a 5v3, right? This was definitely going to be a 5v3 no matter what happened, pretty much. Really good stuff. And then on the cherry on top, we also get a really nice trade there on Benji at the end. It was a different team that turned up for map 2. From some of the worst rounds you will see in map 1 to some of the best rounds that you will see in map 2. So map 1 was a stomp for Heretics, map 2 was a stomp for EDG, but map 3 was actually much closer. And from here on out, the maps would be a little more close and a little more tense in general for the final 3 maps. But on map 3, I think really what the difference was the EDG were just coming up with some big time plays.
Left on the clock, that's not enough time to plant. The defenders are already going to be in, trying to deny. As EDG are trying to deny Rubble currently.
Big reveal, big coverage, Mini-Boo. Straight up and over, Benji Fishy looking to contain. Plugging up the holes, but he is alone. Isolated, Smoggy. Bite of the apple. Tap with a rifle. Resets it. The draw is core. Oh, the play's being made all across the board. Chichu! You didn't have to do it to him, not like that. Embarrasses Heretics in through tree.
He is the immovable object of EDG.
And could we have it any other way?
One thing I want to point out about this clip, though, is that even though Chichu goes crazy, there is help from the rest of the team, right? That what you're going to see here is Simon, when this door gets tapped and in they come, he's going to stun from miles away, really, right? And he's going to stun and really help him, you know, be able to kind of win this first fight. And maybe without this stun, you know, this doesn't happen, right? Because here, Miniboo's having to run away from the stun. Woot gets hit by the stun, so Woot's kind of a free one, but Miniboo can't trade that instantly because he's running away from the stun. But I mean, this is insane by Chichu, obviously, as we can all tell. And then the fact that he gets all four is just, it's just absurd. And this to me was the difference on Lotus here, where EDG were just able to steal some rounds like that they really shouldn't have been able to. And here's another great example.
Instant there with a stun, and a swing once more from Simon, but not dead yet. Need to find some value. I believe Smoggy will have to hunt down some kills. TP from Chichu, punished, and it leaves it down to one. The rookie struggling this series, at least in this map as well, with his confidence, and he's got to do it against Miniboo. Benji, swap of the weapons, pass the rifle over to the healthier player, and a lockdown committed. Simon, how do you play this? Forced to press forwards, potentially there. He's overstaying his welcome. Swings potentially. Footsteps down! Simon! You demon in wait!
And so this third map, I think, did come down to some of those fine moments like those. But also, it should be said that EDG's attack side here on Lotus is just also very good, as this round will show you.
I believe it. He's just given them the map.
EDG up to 11. Ult to the back pocket of Simon. And Miniboo, hard committed. A molly to try and clear his way through, but he's straight up in the air. It's Clay Pigeon shooting, and Kankang not to be denied. He's cracked the site wide open.
And then we come to Bind, which was probably one of the best maps in VCT history. Extremely, extremely close that I think game down to two crucial rounds that, again, are kind of difficult to describe. The score was this. It was 12-9. It's round 22. EDG have started their comeback here after Team Heretics have got to 12, and Team Heretics are just going to go for an A-split exec here. They're going to throw a snakebite into Shower. The thing is, they're going to run into nobody here towards Short, who's going to get smoked off with the one-way here from the Brim, and he has a judge in this position. How he lives for how long he does, I have no idea.
Got no armor to go along with it, though.
Potential tool that they could use. Slower play by Heretics, and still they are in the driving seat. Nobody tucks himself close, a bit of stray spam, but nobody finding a mark. He's weaving around them, dancing around them eventually.
So nobody there, with the judge managing to keep them in that round, EDG. But now you're going to see one of the, to me, what is one of the most iconic things I think I've ever seen in a VCT game.
Still online, but none the wiser. And an alternate hand to Kankang. Spotting the retreating players, at least hearing it. A pre-fire towards the corner to no avail. Nade, rebounds, damage, connects, it cancels. Rians, he's out of it. Simon's defusing. What a body block! Simon! He's got it all the way!
There's so many details to this that are just incredible. Kankang has his ult here. We get into a 3v2. But at this point, you know, they're trying to close out the game here, Team Heretics, so they think, okay, I'll just go for my Gecko ult. But because of the nade is going to cancel the Gecko ult, which means that, again, like, there's more time pressure here on Heretics, because they were probably relying on this, being like, oh, okay, this is going to be the thing that, you know, can kind of secure us a bit more time. And we have the mosh pit, and of course, and we have the Brim Molly, as we see. So they're playing for time here, these two, thinking that they've got it. But now Boo has to panic because they were relying on this Gecko ult to buy them the first bit of time, but now it's not. So now he has to send his Brim Molly because, you know, our Gecko isn't in position to do the mosh pit either here. And that is just one of the most iconic things I think I've ever seen. Chichu just running into the Molly, body blocking it so Simon can stick the defuse. Was just amazing. And then finally we'd come to round number 24. And again, pressure's on the line. What are you going to call on Bind? Well, again, it's just going to be an A hit here from Team Heretics, keeping it simple. And again, they do line up to kind of do this kind of, you know, showers crunch. They send the snakebite in there, as you see, but they decide that they don't like it early, right? This Fate Haunt reveals Boo just here. So Boo gets revealed, so he decides, well, I can't really do much with that. So now we're just going to all come down short. And the thing is, when you all come down short, you know, there isn't much space here. They have one saving grace here, do Team Heretics, and that is that they've got this Viper's Pit with Benji, which obviously he's got to judge for the last round. So he was just planning on using that Viper's Pit, and it got very, very messy and very, very chaotic.
Yeah, but it's all on the line and they're all grouped up. This is very much looking like an all-in play and approach. Horns is not broken, nade and spam right through the box. An opening kill onto Smoggy, Pit in place. Nobody seeking to answer back.
This is where Kang should be looking to pick up the rifle. He does. They have Thrash to try to clear the pit. There's still many chances for EDG to take it to overtime.
Flank control watched for, and like you said, the Thrash is going to be clearing and cleaving the way through. Path potentially. Here, lying in wait, Thrash is there alongside a sees. His players need to be defended. Woot steps up to the challenge, but dropped inside. Kang. Overtime in sight. And EDG are hungry for it, trying to will it forward. Refuse to nade, but the shot's online. They don't have it. Time. It's not online, man. Heartbreak for EDG.
Yeah, an incredible last round. The saddest ace of all time in round 24 from Kang that would take us to map 5. And map 5 also had its fair share of just crazy chaotic rounds of people finding win conditions from absolutely nowhere. Like this one, round number 8, where EDG are on the attack. As you can see, the time is getting low, and you know what that means, but they're just going to end up here coming for an A exec, as you can see from Team Heretics. They're actually against an eco here, so even though the time is low, you know, Team Heretics, they don't have any guns, and it's actually going to go okay for EDG to start off with, but then the way that they lose this round is chaos.
They are just sat back pretty passively, and okay, this one's an eco, but it's reminiscent of how they've played the majority of their defense half so far. I need to see them getting aggressive on defense here, I think.
Nice pushback, Dash is active. In through, there's the slightest of timings, but Rian, the shot just missing. Defense in ordered here. Simon just pushing back the invaders onto the site. It is theirs. Rian's ult just popped off. It's a winnable scenario, and the kill is collected. Spike needs to go down. 4 seconds, nobody. Will he be able to stick it? Denied! From the brink, Heretics found their answer.
So Team Heretics were able to win that round, but EDG were able still to put together a really good attacking half, and they did it. And we're going to show this round here, round number 11, because this I think is pretty a good example of how EDG managed to win their attacking side, because they're going to do something that's kind of become a bit of a theme on Abyss for really gaining attackers advantage, and that is being able to just attack in towards mid here. And EDG are playing an interesting comp with an Astra Omen, right, double controller, and I do think that double controller is how we'll see Abyss, you know, obviously it is the new map, kind of be played more and more, because I think these double controller comps are working pretty well, because it allows you to attack mid more. And, you know, myself and many others initially looked at this map and were like, there's no point in going mid, don't even worry about it. But actually, as it's played out, it seems like, at least at this point, defenders don't really have the right protocols of how you actually deal with mid, right? And so we see here a good example where EDG, they use the double controller to smoke off both sides of mid just here, and Kang walks in towards the kind of, you know, little area with the doors. And it's going to create some pressure, right? And now they do a bit of an A fake here, where we're sending an Omen flash out here for Kang. You know, we've got multiple players in here. We're Omen flashing, we're droning down here. We're making this look like it's going to be an A split, but very quickly we're actually going to pivot and come back towards the B site. And it's going to be very difficult for Team Heretics to know what to do. And you're going to see it. These guys here, they think that this is an A split, right? So they're going to come charging out here. The thing is, EDG are going to pivot back to them, and all of a sudden there's going to be 4 people in mid, and they're in a 2v4.
Bodies are still lining up, reinforcements arriving here in the footsteps. It's a rumble, and a scattered fight indeed. Skirmish to be taken, EDG!
So in response there, what you might have heard was the Gecko ult coming out, and it actually does manage to hit onto nobody who was droning out towards A. So now it's going to be very interesting, where Boo is going to try and push this and get this kill, but he's just too far away. The map is just too big. And you see the problem with when people come mid. It's like, what do you do if you're mini Boo here, right? You're the guy on B. You've got people, pressure probably coming from you this way, but it's very difficult to push out this way, right? It's just very hard, because they can be in so many different positions, right? Like, where do you end up going? Do you end up just trying to chill behind this box? But eventually you're going to get seen here. Like, there's it just seems like there isn't a great answer here for them to do. So Mini-Boo does what most players probably would, which is just kind of chill here, hiding on the backside. But unfortunately for him, that's not a good solution either.
Honestly, again, the scaling that's required. Touch to the side and the weapon's right out, ready to strike. Boo is dropped in place, and Mini-Boo left with it all to do. It's just not possible.
So EDG won 8-4 on their attacking side, but their defensive side did not go so well. And in fact, they really won this tournament and this game because of two moments, in my opinion. One came on this pistol round, because if they didn't win this pistol round, they probably don't win this game, considering how most of the rest of the half went. But thankfully for them, nobody did this.
Mid connector. Now if Simon wants to rotate, he's got to go all the way through spawn, and same could be said for Kang Kang and Smoggy. That puts, hold on, nobody in Chishu on an island, but nobody. What are you doing? Giving away your position here.
Yeah,
but
I mean, firing the dart.
he gets away with it.
The play was being made here, and they've lost control of mid into the process. Oh my God! Nobody!
Spike down A.
Oh, goodness me!
So that round got EDG up to 9, and then they won the second round as well, and they even won their bonus round. We got to 11-4. So yeah, that was it. GG. It was over. EDG won. Apart from that, that wasn't really it, because Team Heretics won 5 rounds in a row, and we actually got back to 11-9, and it looked like EDG were panicking. They didn't have any answers. They were struggling. Obviously, they were playing a no Sentinel comp here, so there was some gaps for them, and because they're trying to fill some of those gaps, that meant there was less players to defend the sites, which then meant that they couldn't hold on to the sites, and so things weren't going so well. But whilst the meme of "get ready to learn Chinese, buddy" might be dead, there is one saying in Valorant which is definitely still true, and that is, when a team is making a big comeback but they fail, they always fail against an eco round. And the saying goes, it's always an eco.
To these EDG players, the pressure shifted onto them, and Kang Kang forced to step up to the moment. Dash to avoid, and shots are fired. Kang Kang, he's monstrous when he gets going, and he does it almost single-handedly.